Good afternoon. I shall be speaking about the DNS today. That is the domain name system. In the event of a fire, I would like you to follow me outside, through the door, out to the front, and a nominal roll will be taken. There will be no eating and drinking throughout the presentation, and I'll take questions at the end. Right, the aim is to teach you a quick outline on DNS, and incentive so you can stand from the crowd and have an idea about what goes on when you type in a domain name such as google.com. And I shall be looking at what the DNS achieves, how it achieves this, the size of DNS, the legislation that governs its use, summary. So, how exactly does your computer communicate with others across the world? It's a good question and it's worth knowing. And it's not just computers either. I mean, it's your Xboxes, your mobile phones and tablets. So, how does it do this? Well, what does it do? Well, the DNS is a pretty good translator of IP addresses, and every interconnected machine has an IP address. You can imagine yourself in a room full of 5 threads and you call out Fred. Which one's going to answer you? All of them. So what we did was we gave every computer a unique IP address, and the problem is remembering numbers. So we then add translation into domain names. So say that's for google.com. And don't forget it's your mobile phones, your tablets and your Xboxes. So how exactly does your DNS translate this through all these millions of IP addresses, and you've got millions of domain names? How do you know which one's connected to which? Well, it sort of works in a raw mail service fashion. I mean, imagine yourself, you write a letter, you put it in the envelope, and you dictate the address on the envelope, you post it. How exactly does your letter get to the recipient? Well, the service looks at the address from the most significant down to the least significant, so that it filters through very quickly and efficiently. In this sort of roundabout way, look into it a bit more further. So you're looking at the top row, and it goes from top to bottom, from most significant to least significant. And notice that exponentially the DNS looks closer to where you're going, more specifically. So you're going for Kent, and then it moves down to Rochester, like more significantly, whereas .com goes more down to what's my DNS, further down into www and mail. In the same way it goes from Kent to Rochester to 46 Hoy Road. So how big is the DNS? Well, how long's a piece of string? I mean, you can look at it pure numerically, and you're roughly looking at about 4.3 million addresses worldwide. But then you can look at the user density. You're looking at roughly one device to every 100 metres square of habitable land on Earth. Or you can look at just the surface area, at which point, well, it supports the World Wide Web. I hope it gives you a bit of a clue. Predictions are for 5,000 addresses for every micrometre, and if you compare it to user density we have at the moment, you can see that the DNS has got a hell of a lot of growing to do. Drawbacks on the DNS. Well, we've looked at how the DNS works in theory, however in reality it's not so great. I want you to imagine yourself on the phone to customer services, dealing with service reps who haven't really got a clue, transfer you in there everywhere, going across the entire world, and you get that horrible conversation. Sorry, you're on the wrong branch, please wait while I transfer you. I wouldn't be too impressed, neither would you. So, you've got to remember this for your mobile phones, tablets and your Xboxes. So, rules that govern the DNS's use. I'm going to be looking at the genuine protection of genuine domain names, such as facebook.com. I mean, that could easily be misspelled as that, which is known as cyber-squatting. And if you type in this address, it will bring you to a website that tells you that you've won $1 million. Unfortunately enough, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. With that, it'd probably be the registration would probably be suspended, and it should be looked at for cancellation. However, for Microsoft, that was a bit of a different case. Both genuine domain names in their own right. You've got Microsoft, the giant we all know and love, and Zero Microsoft Software, which was a smaller company. Microsoft here filed a complaint against said Zero Microsoft, at which point Zero Microsoft's domain name got suspended, and after a while it was sold off because Zero Microsoft could no longer fund it. Just a quick question is that fair that a larger company should be able to dominate the domain names? It's just for you to think about. So what's important to me? I was asked what's the 3 most important aspects of the DNS, and I came up with structure, efficiency and security. Look into these a bit further. Right. Structure, upside down tree organisation. It's simple, it's brilliant. What better inspiration than after military rankings? Security. The wild goose chase we were talking about earlier leaves a bit of a problem for security. I want you to imagine yourself walking down a dozen alleyways. What's the chance of you being mugged compared to if you just walk down one? As you can see, it's moved all the way down, and it's been transferred back up to the top branch of the right branch. It's a quick cartoon of a computer making its way across the world, across the DNS, to find out that, well, had to be transferred. There was security measures taken place, but at the time they didn't actually know what they were securing against, so it's pretty worthless. Efficiency. Well, at the moment we're looking at incentives for homes going greener and cars running further on the same amount of petrol. So you could bet your bottom dollar that DNS will be looking at being on the agenda, because DNS is 24-hour, 7-day-a-week system, and well, it covers a lot of addresses, huge infrastructure as you can imagine. So is DNS the solution we're looking for? It is a viable solution, but it could do so much better. It's got the potential. So if we look at this structure, I'd say it's spot on. It's got potential for great efficiency. The only drawback is it's got bottlenecks on the top level domains. Security is good enough, but that's not due to the DNS. That's due to keys and validation, but security could do a lot more better, and it could be improved just with efficiency alone. Efficiency, you could say that web pages are loaded within a fraction of a second. What's the worry? But if you looked at the user density we were looking at earlier, DNS has got a lot more energy to be used, and something needs to be done about it. And the reason for this at the moment is because of the wild goose chase resolving. Any questions? Good. Thank you for listening.